Hey campers, want to take a little bit of time to talk about cot tents. I had a Kamp-Rite cot tent that I really liked a lot because of its quick setup. It was, just take it out of the bag, pop it open and put it up and you were done in a matter of 3 minutes. But there was a problem with that Kamp-Rite that was like 36 inches wide, 36 inches tall, and 7 inches thick when it was packed up. And it was heavy. It was like 32 pounds. And I found it really difficult to bring along anywhere. What I did, I sold that one, and I bought an Outsunny Cot Tent, which I like for a number of reasons. The biggest one being it's smaller. Here it is right here. It's only, I don't know, like 10 by 5, and it's like about 32, 34 inches long, and it weighs 19 pounds. So it's really, between 19 and 32 is a pretty big difference after when you're moving things around. So what I'm gonna do is set it up here in a minute so you can see it. Another great feature about this one is it has a huge opening to get into the tent. The Kamp-Rite one had a really small main door to get into, and it wasn't very high inside. I could sit up kinda, but it was really short on headroom. This one has got tons of headroom in it. The downside on this one is it's not waterproof as far as because of the design of it. It has the cot and then the tent fits onto it, and on the edges water can come down and get onto the cot and come in that way. But that wasn't a biggie to me, and here's why. No matter if you have either the Kamp-Rite that's fully waterproof and great tent, or this one that is going to leak water, if you're going to get into situations where it's raining, in the Kamp-Rite, you're kind of stuck there in that enclosed capsule. You can't do anything. It's not going to help you when you want to cook or all that stuff. And so either way, it's really advisable to have a tarp. I think anybody that goes tent camping, whether it be a little one like this or even a big one like I have right there, you're going to want a tarp set up for covering a cooking area, somewhere to sit out of the rain besides your tent. So you should, for anybody with a tent, really recommend getting a tarp to set up. And this is a great one because it has corners, hooks and ties and stuff, and grommets for your poles, which leads to the subject of poles. It's much easier to have at least one set of 2 poles, because if you don't have trees in the right places, it's pretty tough to put up a tarp. So with 2, you can at least get some kind of setup lifted up. With 4, have 2 here and 2 here, it opens up more things. I'm going to set all this up so you can see what I got going on. These poles are made by Odoland, and I think you can still get these, but check the description. And I really like these. I've used them a few times. They folds up neat, and it has so it comes out to somewhere around 7 feet or 8 feet. And then the nice part with it is this end can unscrew, and you can adjust this last section a little bit. But other than that, you're stuck with the full length of it by nature of its design. So extending poles I had to do a lot of looking around for a good set, and I came up with these that I'm pretty happy with. This is by Sandlike, right there. I don't know if you can read it. And these are extending poles. Now the downside on extending poles is, you know, they don't pack down quite as short as some of these other ones that fold up, but as you see, this set's not a whole lot longer. But these are flexible because this is a fiberglass one. That's why it's kind of on the thick side, but it's light. You can extend it out, and it goes about almost as far as the other Odolands there, and to anything. So you can have a low one, or you can go way up higher. But I wanted something that came down low. That's why I had to buy this set for the setup that I'm going to be putting together here. But let me get this Outsunny Cot Tent put up, and then I'll set up the tarp over it and we'll go from there. And just strap it. Hold it down like that. Flip these legs over, and then just open it up. These bars on this style of cot, my Coleman's the same way, are so hard to get the last end on. So there's little holes in there. You gotta line it up, pull it over. Now the first one's not so hard. It's when you get to the other end, trying to stretch out the fabric, that it can be pretty hard, tough to pull out. Okay. Try and stretch that fabric this way a little bit. I'm going to hook one end in here first and then try to get this one. There. Like I said, that's the hardest part. And there's 4 holes around on this end rails. That's where the tent's going to fit into. So what we got here, we got the four poles. All right, so we got our 4 poles. Now we got to put the tent together. So figure out which side's the inside and outside. The outside has these ties right here. I'm going to set it up over it. And then it's got some sleeves to slide through. Once you get your poles through there, then it's got this little connector to get that you got to put the poles into for the top. So get one in there, get another one here. And if I remember right, I think it was easier to finish things up by putting this in that hole in the corner there before getting it all the way done. Put this one here. Now try to get the last 2. We'll go do the back one first. I'm putting this one in. And that leads me down to one more here. And then put this on there. Oh wait, and then you got, I think you had to put the strap in first. I found it better if you put this tent bottom strap on and then put the poles in. So I'll have to do that on this one too. There. Pull this down. And put this last corner on. That. And like that. There you go. The great part about the cot tents, you can sleep on any kind of ground. You could be on a rocky beach. You can don't have to worry about sticks and pine cones or any of that stuff. As long as you can find a level area so that you're comfortable when you sleep. But I mean, so now it's all put together. It's got a huge front door. That Kamp-Rite was only about this wide, and I think it had a flap up. It was always in the way. You couldn't, you had to. It was very uncomfortable to get in and out of. And then this neatly rolls up here. There's a tie on the other side here. Gotta make sure it's unzipped all the way before you put your doors open. It's a tight fit for getting this hooked up here. So just roll it up. It's got a little thing here to hook on. All right. Okay. There it is. And tie the top here. And then just make sure you got it pulled down all the way on all sides, which I do. And there you have it. So, I mean, look at the headroom on this thing. I can go right through the opening and I still got another 8 inches above here. That's what's really nice. But if you look right here, here's the tent bottom. You can see right out. Of course, that means water can come in because it's going to run down the side here and right onto your cot, and you'll be wet. As you can see, it's starting to rain right now. I was hoping to beat the rain, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Like I said, the whole point being that you should always have a tarp set up, not just for this, but for regular camping. So, which I'm going to start setting up. Okay, so here I've got the Odoland 10 by, it's almost 10 foot by 10 foot tarp. It's not a plastic tarp. It's one of those waterproof nylon things made same kind of like material as tents. And this has been just a fabulous tent. I mean, tarp. I've already still got my guy lines attached on some of the corners. But what's really nice about a good camping tarp is it'll have not only the holes there for your poles, but attachment points for your guy lines or ropes or whatever. And it has like, I can't remember how many, 3 or 4. It shows on the diagram here. Well, there's 3, besides the corners, there's 3 inside. So there's plenty of places to tie on and give you different options of things to do. Just like that. I'm gonna pull it over. And next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stake down the back side of this tarp because I'm gonna go low up to high to come out and give a cover out here. Let me go stake the back down real quick. I need about a foot here. That's the thing about Montana soil. It's not much soil, it's more rock than soil. Here in western Montana anyway. Next I'm going to put up the middle poles. So I'm going to my middle hole. Just balance that for the time being. Here. And we can grab our other poles. Get this other corner here. Let that just lean on there. Just gonna set up a temporary one for a second. This one. So once I got it set up loosely like this, I'm gonna get the middle one tight up first. Snake this down. And then we can finally tighten up these front ones here. All right. Just like so. And there you have it. Now I don't have to worry about rain getting into my tent. I've got an area to sit down if it's raining and have stuff here. I could cook here, I could eat here. It's just a, ideal situation. If I could go with just this setup. Doesn't take up much space at all, and it's only with the poles and the tarp and the cot tent. It's a really a compact setup. Normally I also put in here a self-inflating mat, which helps seal this area right here, because it lays down on top of there. Put the mat, sleeping mat, and then my sleeping bag on top of it. And inside, it's got no pockets, which doesn't bother me a whole lot. And up here there is one little loop to hang my light, which there you go. I like that. And then you got a window on each end. There's no back door, but all in all, I really like it. So take care.